love to welcome everybody back to the Independent Investor channel for our continued coverage of Oroco Resource. This opportunity is shaping up to be one of monumental proportions, and at the end of this video, you're going to be more educated on the opportunity. You're going to understand my current personal position, which currently sits at 20,000 shares. I do have an expectation to grow that position to 50,000. That is my personal stake and goal in this company. So please understand that my loyalty does align with the company. With that, Oroco Resource does compensate myself and the Independent Investor channel for providing these informative pieces on the company. In this video, we're going to hear from Ian Graham, the president and chairman of Oroco Resources, and he is going to provide an overview of the Santo Tomas project down in northwest Mexico, which as of late has become an extremely hot button topic and has gotten some favor just recently, and it is worth investors' time to understand the magnitude of this project and how monumental this opportunity could be. So with that, guys, we're going to kick in here and we're going to review an interview that was just put through the wire by Ian, and I think to hear it from Ian as the subject matter expert and point on the Santo Tomas project, where we are currently, and more importantly, where we see ourselves in the short to nearer term with this project, really could lend itself of interest to current share owners in the company like me and potential would-be share owners in the company. I would encourage you to stay for the totality of this video and listen to the project particulars, as I think you'll find, as I did, the attributes of this project are nothing short of absolutely incredible. And I think there's monumental things to come for Oroco Resource, and we'll continue to report out on that good news as it crosses my desk. So let's jump in here and listen to what Ian has to say.
Hi, Adrian. Thanks for having me.
It's wonderful to have you, Ian. Looks like you're working on some very interesting things in Mexico. For those that are unfamiliar with Oroco Resource, can you tell us a little bit of background about the company and what you are up to?
Certainly. So Oroco was founded in 2006 and has been focused on exploration and development resource projects in northwest Mexico since that time. Its original involvement was the drilling of a gold deposit in Sonora, which was sold on to a developer and is a mine currently still in production. And we followed that with the commencement of a very long legal action that culminated in 2020 with the acquisition of a majority interest in the Santo Tomas copper deposit, also in northwest Mexico and straddling Sinaloa and Chihuahua borders. So a very compelling project located in an excellent jurisdiction on great infrastructure, and also in a community where people had very strong experience in major mining, in that they had worked at the El Sosal gold mine operated by Gold in the past. So very good knowledge in the region of mining and of the standards and practice of mining, and as a result, some very good social support for mining. And the Santo Tomas project has been the focus of our work since.
Well, it is indeed a mining country, Mexico, isn't it? But it's kind of interesting, though. I mean, the last government, they were starting to sound like they wanted to come down heavier on regulation on mining in the country. How are you finding working in Mexico? Is it challenging right now, or has everything kind of blown over?
So 2 points on that, Adrian. Yes, we've experienced headwinds, particularly in the market, as a result of investor nervousness regarding the direction of the last federal administration under the president widely known as AMLO. 2 points. Our historical rights to develop are protected under the Mexican Constitution, and we have filed all the necessary legal proceedings to protect those rights. But most recently, in fact, as recent as last week, we were visited by a former senator of the federal government and now a congressman, a deputy in the equivalent of the Mexican Congress. And he spent Thursday and Friday of last week with us and has agreed that the project is required for the regional social stability and creation of jobs, and will be championing the project through all the phases to development. And that is an exciting change for us. I think it's a sea change. And he has further posted his support for the project on X and on Facebook, and we'll be further engaging with him in Mexico City, together with the Secretary for the Economy, think Minister of Finance, and the Governor of Sinaloa, with whom we currently have a good relationship, to roadmap the further development of Santo Tomas. And we need that support, both to broadcast to the investment community, to underwrite a little further work that we need to do, which is basically the drilling towards a PFS study and the conversion of some of the Santo Tomas resource into the indicated category. So currently we have part of the resource and indicated. We need to add to that in order to prepare the project for our ultimate aim, which is a transaction with a large developer that would ensure the development of the project.
Okay, excellent. So Santo Tomas is the main flagship project then of the company, and that is in Mexico. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? You said it was a copper project. What have you found, and what do you think is there?
So what we have at Santo Tomas is a very large porphyry copper deposit. And much of the world's copper, the majority of the world's copper currently is produced from porphyry deposits globally. What we've defined at Santo Tomas is a project which is readily buildable at very competitive capital costs to produce from a large resource. And currently, we would mine some 825 million tons and produce over 5 billion pounds of copper equivalent. And that would be done mining from a resource of 8.5 billion pounds of copper. So the project economics are very good. It's a 1.48 billion US dollar post-tax NPV8, 22.2 post-tax IRR. So excellent project metrics. And we would be mining 108,000 tons of copper equivalent a year on our project plan, against a capex of 1.1 billion US dollars, giving us one of the more compelling capex NPV ratios in the undeveloped porphyry copper space globally. So it's a very, very compelling project. Clearly, a developer would be able to change some of those metrics, mine it a little faster, or make other improvisations that may improve the economics or better suit their global marketing. But in any case, this is a very compelling project. And the reason the capital is so relatively low is that the project is situated on very compelling infrastructure. So we're on road, rail, a Trans-Canada natural gas pipeline with excess capacity that runs right by the project. We're also on hydroelectric offtake locations for the national grid here in Mexico. And we're a short drive, 160 kilometers by road, to Topolobampo, which is an excess capacity deep water port on the Baja coast. So it's a very well-blessed project in terms of its location.
Okay, excellent. And I'm looking at the team here, and they look like they have quite a bit of experience. So as far as the roadmap then, how do you see things playing out in, say, like the next 6 months to 2 years, let's say? How do you see things moving forward with the company?
Adrian, I think that period is a very compelling one for us. With the recent engagement by the federal government on our behalf and the continued support of the state government, We're looking to shortly publish a desk prospectus that would allow us to finance in the near term to commence work on the PFS that I referenced previously. The PFS requires between 15 and 20,000 meters of drilling to complete. To date, we have drilled 50,000 meters. So this is certainly on the downhill slope for us in terms of project scope and scale. But with that additional drilling, we'll move the so-called south zone of the project into the indicated category. We'll complete a PFS, further map out some of the geotechnical and geohydrological requirements of the project, all of which we expect to be quite supportive of the current plan, and then do that work ideally by the beginning of next year. And then in the course of early 2026, publish the PFS with an updated resource, and then move the project towards its ultimate transaction, which we would love to see crystallize in 2026, but not everything proceeds at the pace you might best hope of. However, we do expect that by 2027, we should look forward to a very compelling transaction that would greatly benefit the shareholders of Oroco.
Okay, excellent. So what do you want investors to know about Oroco Resource?
I think firstly, Adrian, that we are refocused now, given the government support that we have, on moving this project forward in an expedited manner. As you referenced earlier, we have excellent technical leadership under Richard Locke, our CEO, who is a serial project developer, and his record is on time, on budget development. So he brings very, very strong focus and technical credibility to the studies we do. We will also be now focusing on messaging the company and the government support that we have and the exciting near-term catalysts that we are confronting. And so investors can expect renewed support of the company in the broader market. They can expect to see a PFS move forward with a renewed resource, particularly at South Zone. And I believe that we're now poised for a very exciting 6 to 24 months that you previously referenced.
Ian Graham, president of Oroco Resource, thank you for joining us and sharing everything that you're working on at the Santo Tomas project in Mexico.
Thanks very much, Adrian. Thanks for having us.
So we've come out of the interview with Ian. I thought it was pointed. I thought it was a well done interview. I thought the highlights, after I was done watching it for 7 minutes, I wanted to become a share owner. And then I remembered that I was one. And I'm going to continue to own those shares until the value is realized on this project. I think that we can all agree that Oroco sports a fantastic value proposition. I think we can also agree that trading at its current share price of 27 cents US, the company is extremely undervalued at this point. And I think with what Ian is talking about in solidifying and ensuring that some of the resources are transitioned to inferred resource is only going to embolden the bottom line as it contributes to its inevitable sale of the property to a larger company that can actually develop the company to Oroco's liking. And I think the projections of the company are absolutely incredible. That is why I'm an investor in the company. I'd invite you to check the disclaimers at the bottom of this video. Understand my share count. I disclose those openly. And also to understand my relationship as it stands with Oroco Resource and our opportunity to convey together information that can stand extremely valuable and monumental for folks that don't know that this story is transpiring, and it is. Every day the story develops, every day the landscape gets more favorable, and as the demand over copper becomes that much more critical in a number of industries around the world, properties like Oroco Resource and the Santo Tomas project become that much more valuable. And I think investors need to take note and at least start tracking this project if you were unaware, and potentially consider this a viable investment opportunity in the junior mining space specific to the copper opportunity. Guys, I appreciate you tuning into the video. I'd invite you to subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. They come through the wire in real time as they're provided to me. Leave your comments at the bottom, hit the notification bell, and the like button to help support content like this. Remember, the idea is information. In just a few short minutes, you would have gone from the beginning of this video to the end and have a very, very clear and crystal clear understanding about what is going on down in the Santo Tomas region with the copper project, what Oroco is looking to do in the short term, and if anything, it will probably do for you what it did for me, and that's excite you as a potential share owner in this company. So consider following the story in any capacity that you choose. I do encourage you to do your own research and make your own investment decisions. This isn't to encourage you to do anything outside of what you have well researched on your own. This is only meant to amplify your current knowledge, if any, of the goings on in Northwest Mexico with Oroco Resources and the exciting times to come here at the Santo Tomas Copper Project. Thank you so much for tuning in for the entirety of the video, and good luck in your investment future.